My name is Clint Berry, and I'm one of the co-founders of the LEAD program. Today, I'm spending a little bit of time with my friend, John Sapia. John, I would like to know what's your role in your district and what district do you work for?
Clint, good to be here. Currently serving as the assistant to the superintendent in the Alliance Southeast.
John, why is leadership development so important to you and to the Alliance Southeast?
One of my favorite scriptures is 2 Timothy 2:2. That's where Paul encourages Timothy to take the truths that Paul taught him and entrust them to other reliable people or leaders who will in turn retrust them to other people. This is leadership development. This is discipleship. Sometimes I weep with pastors who are burning out. And one of the reasons they are is because Ephesians 4 tells us to raise up leaders to do the work of the ministry. And I believe some of our leaders, some of our pastors are tired and burning out because they're doing ministry that God never called them to do. They're doing ministry that the leaders that they should be raising up are supposed to be doing.
So, John, as you think about reaching the lost and equipping people within your district, we like to ask leaders potentially how many leaders do you need raised up from the harvest and for the harvest within your district? Give us a ballpark. What does that look like for the Alliance Southeast to raise up leaders? How many do you need?
The answer is more. We need more leaders. Just thinking church-wise, here in our district, we usually have around 7 to 10 churches that will need new pastors at any given moment. More importantly, and you alluded to this in the question, Clint, there are almost 22 million people in the state of Florida. It's one of the biggest states in the country, and only 10%, roughly 9-10%, go to a Bible-believing church on Sunday. That leaves a lot of people in the harvest. And Jesus said it straight. The harvest is plentiful in the country, but especially in the state of Florida. And so we are constantly praying and actively raising up new workers for the harvest.
John, what are the characteristics of a potential leader that you're trying to identify? What are the characteristics? What are you looking for in a potential leader within your district?
But I identify potential leaders by really two things: faithfulness and teachability. I can teach ministry skills. You can learn that over time, but character is consistent. So when I see a person who proves to be faithful to the tasks that are in front of them, and especially when I see people who are teachable, they've got that spirit, they want to learn, they're willing to be taught, those are the ones I look to invest in, and those are the ones I promote for new opportunities.
John, you were a cohort director with the LEAD program and one of the very first to be trained and released as a cohort director alongside of our friend Eddie DeJesus. But why have you continued to champion the LEAD program within the Alliance Southeast for raising up these potential leaders?
So I've spent most of my life in discipling others and leadership development. Discipleship and ministry go hand in hand. And I can say it without question, at the level that LEAD is hitting and for its intended purpose, LEAD is by far the most effective leadership development program that I've ever worked with.
John, tell me a success story of the LEAD program. And by success, really celebrate what Jesus has done in the life of a leader that has come through the LEAD program.
I remember one of my students who is already a LEAD graduate. When he joined LEAD, he didn't have a theology background. And so as he started studying, he just ate up the material. He did great writing his papers, but he really began to shine when he started preaching. He had not preached very often, and during the course of the LEAD program, he had to preach at least twice. And he wasn't looking forward to it, but he was amazing. God spoke to him, God spoke through him. And so now, now that he's graduated, every time a pastor says to me, "Hey, John, I'm going out of town on vacation, or I'm not feeling well. Can you find someone to fill my pulpit?" I go to this one student, and he says, "Stop sending me to places," but I can't help it. He's got a gift, and he's got a calling.
So what other thoughts do you have about the LEAD program and ministry equipping, John?
Yeah, so I'd finish up by saying with LEAD, there's nothing better than those aha moments. You know, when the lights turn on, they're life-changing moments when students who've heard the word most of their lives, many of them since they were kids, suddenly those truths impact their hearts. And quite honest, these kind of moments happen throughout the LEAD cohort journey. And so it's just fun to watch as you see students come in and they're nervous and they're shy. And then all of a sudden, by the third or fourth semester, they're into each other's lives. They're praying, they're crying, they're learning. And those aha moments just seem to come on a monthly basis.
John, thanks so much for sharing what Jesus is doing in the Alliance Southeast, raising up more workers from the harvest for the harvest, and sharing with us these harvest stories. Thanks, bud.